Good afternoon. This is Chris Brecher with the Simpler Stocks free video for March 30th, 2016. Putting this out about an hour before the close. We have a huge thunderstorm coming in our area. I was worried about all the lights going off. Basically, today we got the positive reaction to Janet Yellen's words. So you got the ES just taking off today, but like we've been warning, I don't care what I've said about the buybacks. You have to be careful that when the daily looks this good, you don't short unless you're doing ultra short-term trades. Look at the ES on the right. Fine, you could short right there at 2030, but when the daily you had to be out at 2022. Have to respect these ATR trailing stops and the moving average cross. No doubt about it. Because like I said, the daily just doesn't look bad yet. So what you see right now is the futures up 17 after Dovish testimony by, Dovish talk by Yellen. The NASDAQ up 70 and the Russell up almost 30 points. So we were talking about this before, about the Russell, and we'll get into that in a minute. Bonds up 30, gold up. In fact, everything's up except oil. So another one of those like asset class buys where they buy everything, whoever they is. So let me show you a couple of things. Number one, we've been warning that the Russell could turn around, could roll over, but if it doesn't, this could be an upside flag. Now, let me show you when I go through hundreds of charts a night. And one thing I want you to realize, I look for similar patterns. What do I mean by that? Look at the pattern on the left, the Russell. Now, I'm going to unlink this. And I want you to see Amazon on the right on a daily. And I want you to realize how similar the charts looked right here. Now, obviously, Amazon had a sharper sell-off back here, but over here you had that same kind of wedging formation. And you also had a squeeze on both. Now, what do you see in here? You saw Amazon break up. And what's interesting about that is Amazon broke up early in the morning before the Russell broke up. Really neat. Actually, the Russell was down right here when the Amazon already broke up. It was a huge tell that probably the chart of TF was going to work as well. Very similar on a couple of other charts in here. Let me show you what I mean in here. Here's Netflix. Netflix, check this out on the daily and check out how similar that looks to Amazon. Now, what's the difference right here? And let me put back on the 200 moving average so you know what I'm talking about. We're going to put it on both, on the left and the right. What you're going to see in here is check out Netflix on the left and check out Amazon on the right. And what you have to realize in here is when something has cleared all its moving averages, like Amazon was starting to do yesterday and the day before, that's in a technically better position than Netflix, which is still under its 200. But both of them here have a similar chart. You can see it on a close-up. Want to know another stock? And this is where we do things all the time on Simpler Stocks to be creative. For some odd reason, Electronic Arts has the same chart pattern. So now if Amazon breaks out and Netflix breaks out, then probably Electronic Arts is going to break out. What else has a similar chart pattern to this? Let me check this out. Here's Starbucks. I don't know if you can hear the thunder in the background, so I have to try to behave in all kinds of ways. Be sure this doesn't hit the house. But look at this right here. You have Starbucks having that kind of pattern. When you get this many patterns that look similar and they start going up, it's very tough for the ESs to go down. So what you're getting now is this. You have the ESs on a daily. You have it obviously up here. And what you have to understand, I know everybody's really bullish, but I'm looking at this right here. I'm looking at that doji, and all we are is testing the doji from 4 days ago. So don't get too enthusiastic yet. Let's see how it acts. But you have the ESs obviously up at this area right here, where it was the beginning of January, believe it or not. Where would that put the Russell? That puts the Russell up at these areas right here. As you see, when it clears right here at 1100, there's no resistance really to 1125 and 1150. Very interesting in here. Probably tonight what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan the Russell stocks and see if there's some that just started breaking up that we could jump into. What does the NASDAQ look in this? Let's put the NASDAQ on the right now and look at where this could go. And as you see, looks like 4,500. Why does that sound familiar? That's what I've been pegging for a month of it getting to this area. Why did I say that? If you take off every indicator, so we're going to remove all studies, and you just go on price. I've always said price is more important. As you see, there's very little resistance until right here, 4,500. If it gets over that, there's very little resistance to 4,700. So you see what I'm looking at in here when you take off every indicator, how much easier it is to look at the support and resistance in regard to price. Like I've always said, price and chart patterns trump everything. Sorry to use the word trump, but price and charts trump everything. Then you add your overlays of the indicators, because a lot of times you want to try to do three reasons for something. So what I'm going to be watching in here right now is how the Russell, how the NASDAQ, and how the ESs react to now getting on a 78-minute chart some overbought conditions. Check out the overbought on the 78 on both of these. Really dramatic. I'm going to take the squeeze and put it like that so you can see how overbought. Look at these. This doesn't mean to short, but it means to be careful and not get too enthusiastic at these levels. Let's see the quality of the work, of the sell-off to work off the oversold. That's what I'm going to be watching tomorrow. Just so you know, we have the $7 30-day trial, and I wanted to show you just the page to make it easier for you. Let me take off the arrows. This is basically my whole thing. Right here, $7 for 30 days. Now this includes the chat in the morning. We actually did a bonus today. We do a live chat from 8 to 9 Eastern in the morning. That basically is a chat where everybody can interact, and I talk most of the time, answer everybody's questions. Everybody can share my charts and watch what I'm watching. And already for $79 for a month, that's one of the better deals in the industry. Well, this week we're doing some special stuff of I did 9:30 to 10 Eastern. I did the opening so you could see what I do short term and what I'm looking at. Really neat. I really had a huge amount of people be on it, and we've already had tremendous amount of feedback. Now this also includes the forum we have every day, that you can post all day. I post charts at night, and then we have free webinars all the time. This is like our 5th in a series. Tomorrow I'm doing on bull and bear flags. Really interesting about that because we had a ton of bull flags today that broke out. So that's something you're going to want to see. So I hope everybody can take us up on this offer. I hope you have a great night, and I will talk to you tomorrow.